Hey, it's Mornings with James, Jess FM. Good morning. Oh, you know what? I've moved off to Kelowna. I was there for some grads and some other events, and just generally having some fun. Myself and my daughter Jordan traveling out there. A nice little 10, 11 and a half hour drive there. A little bit of construction on the way, and if you head out to Kelowna and you take Highway 3, it's a beautiful drive. But I want you to keep this in mind. In order to get there, you have to travel north on Highway 33 from Rock Creek to Kelowna. Now, you can now go through Osoyoos and stuff like that, but it's a little bit longer. Just outside of Kelowna, there is some construction because the highway was washed out, and the great guys working on the road there are doing their best to get it all repaired. Well, you're in for a bit of a wait. Trans-Canada Highway, also a little bit of construction. Well, you know what? You take your time, you'll get there. It'll be all good. My daughter Jordan is 14 years old, right? She's got her learners. She drove for about 600 kilometers of that trip over the weekend. So, my proverbial hat off to her with that. Now, that said, in life, we are presented with many opportunities. One of those great opportunities may be to have your daughter discovered somehow with a talent agency of sorts. And when we were in Kelowna, Saturday morning I awoke and went down to the lobby area, grabbed some coffee, and noticed, gee, there's all these people standing around, and what's going on? Big lineup. And talked to the front desk, and the front desk said, well, there's this group in, and they're doing a call for potential actors and actresses for Disney and Nickelodeon. I'm like, well, my daughter's an actress. She would probably be really interested in this. Head back up to the room and said, hey, Jordan, do you want to try out for this thing? Do you want to, see what happens? And she's like, yeah. She throws her clothes on. 5 minutes later, we're down in the lobby, standing in line, filling out forms and stuff. Let me tell you this. If you ever want to see your kid get up out of bed quickly, tell them there's something potentially that will affect their life in a positive way, something that they're passionate about. You've never seen a kid move so fast in your life. It was amazing. So we get down to the room where they're holding this thing, and the name of the company that was doing the screening essentially is the Undiscovered Talent Company. Now online, if you look, they're the Undiscovered Talent Agency. Not really, they're not an agency. Undiscovered Talent Group. Okay, they're based out of California. Brandon, the gentleman that was hosting it, and I believe his wife Stacy, both over 20 years experience in the area. This room is packed, by the way. Now it's a smaller room, but easily there's 150 plus people crammed in, sitting, standing, moms, dads, kids, expectant moms with multiple kids, babies, everything. Okay. They do this great presentation, and they say, listen, we discover talent for groups like Nickelodeon, Disney. We have all these people that are in these Nickelodeon shows. They're this, and this, and here's who we've discovered. These people, and one of the guys that Brandon goes on to talk about is, do you know in Spider-Man: Homecoming, remember Ned, Spider-Man's kind of nerdy buddy? Well, Brandon discovered him in Hawaii, okay? And it was Brandon's, Brandon basically had seen this kid and thought, nice guy, whatever, let's, he might be something that has somebody that has potential. And of course he did, because he's perfect as a sidekick in Spider-Man: Homecoming. Now, Brandon claims to have discovered him. That's great. That's part of the sales. That's part of the hook. And so we're watching this and going like, wow, this is really exciting. And so then they go on to say, listen, here's what we do. We bring people in, we discover them, then we're going to train you on how to walk, how to talk, how to act, how to be the best you can be. And we're going to connect you with all these agencies that basically the studios are hiring. Okay? All these agencies that find the people that the studios are hiring. We're going to connect you with those guys. We're going to train you. It's going to cost a little bit of money, but you know what? We are changing lives. And of course, we're sitting there looking at each other going like, man, this is for real. This is legit. This is incredible. This is the break of a lifetime. Jordan is an amazing singer. She's a great actress. She's been in so many different performances. Wow. The stars are aligning. Here I am in Kelowna for work, to do shows, to do grads, and my daughter, who decided to come with me because she wanted to see what Kelowna is all about, and there's this thing going on. Man, it must be meant to be. 2+ hours later, we get a chance to sit down with Stacy. Now, I want to run some numbers by you. First of all, let me know what you think on this. Stacy's been working in this industry as a scout, as a person who basically finds talent for 20 years. And in that 20 years, these are the numbers she boasts. She says, you know what, I've been doing this for 20 years. Excuse me. I currently have 17 people. 17. Count them, 17 people who are in Disney or Nickelodeon productions. 17. And on the paper that she gives you, there's a listing of all these people, and she starts talking about, well, do you know this Nickelodeon show, this Nickelodeon show, this Nickelodeon show? And my daughter's like, yeah, I know that one. Yeah, I know that one. Well, here's who I found. And my daughter's like, Dad, I know all these people. Like, wow, that's great. Now, think about this. 20 years, and she's talking about 17 people. The numbers aren't good. In 20 years, you have 17 people that you found. Keep in mind, we're in Kelowna, and this is something they do on a monthly basis. They've been in Saskatoon, they've been in Edmonton, they've been all over the place. 150 to 300 people they see every time they go out somewhere. Now, when you go online, now there's more to the story, okay? Excuse me. When you go online and you look up the Undiscovered Talent Group, and if you go to the Better Business Bureau, there's a great link on my Facebook page. All you have to do is scroll down, and thank you to Maine for posting that for me. It talks about a number of complaints, and these complaints are just from May 9th of this year when they were in Saskatoon. Now, one of the big complaints that people have is, you know what? You talk about, listen, you want to be a star. You want to be all that you can be, and you have access to this great company that is going to train you and provide you with this opportunity to connect with Nickelodeon and connect with the guys and connect with Disney. It's very, very enticing. It really is. And looking at my daughter, like, she is just over the moon. We get a chance to sit down and talk with Stacy, and Jordan, basically Stacy gets her information. Now, here's the thing about Stacy. Stacy's been in the business for 20 years. Now, if I were to say to you, I'm a stage hypnotist, you've all seen a stage hypnotist. You know what I'm talking about, okay? You know that I'm that guy that gets up and I might do a motivational presentation. I put people in trance and I provide entertaining moments. So, if I'm doing grads, if I'm doing this, that, the next thing, whatever. It's a stage show, where I hypnotize people, I ask for volunteers, I bring them up on stage, and we have an amazing time, right? You know what a stage hypnotist show is. I had to explain that to Stacy. Now, maybe I'm just being arrogant, but you know what? She's in the entertainment industry, and I would consider hypnotism and stage hypnosis to be one of those things where, yes, it's not really a common thing, but of course, it is certainly very entertaining. You get a great stage hypnotist for your event, and you are guaranteed to have an amazing time, a laugh till your face hurts kind of time, and that's what it's all about. She spent the first part of the interview questioning me about what I did and how I did it, because of course, guess what? I'm in show business. I'm on stage. I do this stuff. I'm in front of a camera all the time. Not to the extent of being, with Disney and stuff like that, but I've done my fair share of TV interviews and segments for programs, stuff like that, right? All minor stuff, all fun stuff. But when you're there to find talent, and it's my 14-year-old daughter, and you're basically more enthralled with what I have to offer, you really take away from the moment for this kid who just is full of, is starstruck by what you have to offer. I mean, I think the writing's on the wall. Anyway, so Jordan, she sings a song. She sang "Love Fool" by the Cardigans, but she sang the jazz version of it. And you still got a room. By the time we got up there, the room was still half full. Jordan starts singing, and the room just gets quiet. And she sings this jazzy version of "Love Fool," and it was, I got to tell you, it was absolutely fantastic. It was amazing, and you could tell. I knew she was nervous, and I think Stacy knew she was nervous too. It was a great interview. It was a great performance, and so we leave there. Stacy says, "Listen, I'll contact you. I'll connect with you around between 5 and 9 o'clock." Now I've got shows happening that night, so for me, they start at 9. I'm thinking, well, this will be great. Here's my phone number. And she's like, yeah, Dad, we need to have your phone number because I'm not going to contact your 14-year-old daughter. That would just be weird. Okay, no problem. So we leave there. She's all excited. We get the pamphlet. Now, I want to be very clear on this. There are costs associated with this. Big cost. Okay? So, for example, if Jordan wanted to get involved with this, and they don't talk about the cost. They say there is a cost, but they don't really talk about that right off the bat, okay? They talk about the fact that they're going to groom you, they're going to do this, this, this. Well, at the end of the day, okay, if you had $3,200 Canadian and a couple of weekends open, you could be a part of their program. $3,200 for what would amount to 4 days of training, $3,200. 4 days of training, okay, to become a star in a group of 25 to 50 people. 4 days of training. So if, for example, if Jordan was part of this, she would have to be going back to Kelowna this weekend. And by the way, there's more to that as well. This weekend coming up, then the next, she would have the next weekend off. No, sorry, she'd go back the next weekend. And then, of course, that would lead up to the big showcase that would happen around the 21st of July. Okay? Now, I want you to think about this. It's a 1 month time period to go from being discovered to being in a talent showcase where they're going to bring agents in from all over Canada and the United States, and that's what you're paying for, to be marketed to all these agencies. $3,200 plus hotel expenses, plus travel expenses, everything like that. Now, yes, they have just been in Edmonton, they've been in Saskatoon, they're traveling all over the place. Okay? Anyway, so we leave there, and we go and we go through downtown Kelowna. Jordan had never been there before. We're staying at the 4 Point Sheraton, that's where this whole thing was held. And if you're traveling in Kelowna, I highly recommend the 4 Point Sheraton. Beautiful hotel, all the amenities, it's by the airport. Better yet, if you're doing things in Winfield or Lake Country and you're doing things in Kelowna, it is an ideal location. It's kind of in between everything, and there's a little bit of a mall there. So you still have your Tim Hortons and Starbucks, and of course the hotel itself has everything. Hot tub, pool, water slide, and very comfortable rooms. Very, very good staff. Absolutely wonderful place. And of course the meeting rooms on top of it. We go down to the lake. We go down to downtown Kelowna, and we experience Kelowna in the summertime. The lakefront, we walk along the beach. It's beautiful. I had been doing a show at the Yacht Club. We checked that out. There was a live band playing, great music going on in the background. It was Kelowna at its best. It was an amazing experience. Well, we spend the afternoon down there working on a little bit of the tan, stuff like that. I go check out the venue where I'm going to be set up for that night for another grad. While I'm in there checking that out, I get a text. It's Stacy. Stacy's congratulating Jordan on a callback. Jordan is ecstatic. She says, read through the pamphlet. And of course, when you read through the pamphlet, okay, it talks about everything that's going to happen. It talks about the dates, the times, and it talks about the cost. And I'm looking at it going, okay, like next weekend, we would have to be back here. I've got, other events going on because I'm still in that busy time of year for myself. we'll be able to arrange something, whatever. But Jordan is over the top. She's so excited. We get back to the hotel. She's calling her friends, texting her friends. I'm, calling everybody, my mom, and talking to my other daughter and my son, and we're just excited. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, I got to go do a show tonight, and I'm over the top excited for Jordan. Okay? Go to my events. Fantastic. Wonderful. I love entertaining. And I'm thinking, the whole time I'm doing this, wow, wouldn't it be great? Jordan gets to go in this program and gets discovered, and she'll be doing the things she loves to do too. Entertaining, acting, singing. Wow. Proud father moments. Proud dad moments. Hashtag. Couldn't be better. I get back the wee hours of the morning, get a couple hours sleep. 9 o'clock, we've got our callback interview. We go back down. Same thing. Number of there's chairs set up in the hallway. Stacy's inside there. Brandon's inside there. We sign in. Stacy comes out, gets us. We sit down. We start talking, and this is how it goes. She said, how are you guys doing today? I said, great. A little bit tired. I was at my event till blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, yeah, doing the hypnosis shows. So how does that work? What is that like? And I said, you know what? I love entertaining. I love doing stage hypnotism. I love showing people a great time. And it always seems that every time I go out and do a show, although I've got my show laid out, it's something different. You're kind of off the cuff sometimes, and it's the people that make every show that really bring the show to life. Anyway, enough about me. It's my daughter who's here for the interview. Oh, yeah, right. So 5 minutes into the conversation, we've already spent all that time talking about stage hypnotism, which she knows nothing about. Nothing. And I'm blown away by this. How do you work in the entertainment industry? Now, okay, maybe that's my arrogance or what have you, but how is it you are this person who is in the know, who's connected with all these businesses, and you know nothing about the different facets of entertainment? I don't get it. Honestly, don't get it. Starts talking with Jordan. First thing, she says, here's the schedule. Can you commit to the schedule? Yeah, well, we can kind of make arrangements, but I said, here's the issue. You have the meet and greet tonight. We have to head back to Lethbridge because Lethbridge, for example, my daughter's got her exams the next day, and then we have to figure out how to get her back here the next weekend. And I said, we're still in that I'm still in my tour season. And she says, I don't care how you get her back here. I don't care how you get her back here. Just get her here. Send her with a neighbor. And I said, well, as her father and her only legal guardian, I would like to be here. I don't care. She needs to be here. Well, I'll just have to make arrangements. You're trying to tell me you've got my 14-year-old daughter's best interests at heart. You don't care how she gets back to your training, to your seminar, to the thing that you're doing to prepare her for an acting and singing showcase. You don't care about how my 14-year-old daughter gets back there. And you call yourself a professional. And even during the whole welcoming in process, Brandon said, I've got your child's best interests at heart. I want to make sure both parents are on side. I want to make sure they're safe. California laws say that, this has to take place, that has to take place. I've got your child's best interests in heart. We haven't even taken the next step. And we're being told, I don't care how she gets here. Just get her here. You lost me right there. Next step. Okay. She's going to do great. She's going to be fantastic. It's $2,600. Now, there's different levels. $1,900, $2,600, $4,000. The middle one, acting, singing, modeling. Jordan's 5'2". Not really modeling material. Cute as the day is long. Pretty as the day is long. An amazing young woman. Absolutely amazing. You're going to start her off modeling. She's never done anything like that. You're going to train her, and then you're going to pitch her to people. Not a good step. So, $2,600 US, by the way, so $3,200 Canadian, roughly, with the 30% exchange rate. Seems a little bit strange. Maybe that's closer to $3,400, $3,500. How much money can you put down today? Well, we have to make sure she can get there. Okay, as a good faith gesture, credit card, cash, whatever. How much money can you put down today? And then pay the rest off by Tuesday. Well, I don't even know if she can make it. Well, I'll tell you what, let me leave you guys here and you make some phone calls. Well, gee, I look at Jordan, I say, listen, like that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money in a couple of days. And then the logistics of going from Lethbridge to Kelowna again. It's a 900-kilometer drive. Other interesting things. So this company does all of these workshops in Canada. Now, I'm a real fan of, if I'm traveling down to Los Angeles, I'm going anywhere in the States, I like to know where I'm going. And if I'm going there multiple times, I'm one of those guys, I like to know where things are in relationship to, other things. So they've been in Canada several times. And I understand they're going to be in Calgary in 3 months. They've been in Saskatoon, they've been in Edmonton, now they're in Kelowna. I said, it's quite a ways away. And she says, well, do I look like I know Canada? Like, how far are we talking? I said, well, it's a 9-hour drive. And she said, well, what's that in miles? I said, 600 miles. She says, wow. Can you get her here? Well, yeah, I mean, it's my third time hopping back and forth to BC, in this part of BC. We have the ability to do it. Just get her here. I don't care. Just get her here. Warning signs. Anyway, couldn't get a hold of my son, and I'm kind of thinking about this and going like, when something sounds too good to be true, I mean, you think about it. Not only the $2,600 US, but on top of that, the trip out, the hotel accommodations, the fact that I would entrust my daughter to travel this distance with whoever to pursue her dreams. I gotta say no. I look over at my daughter and I don't think we can make this happen. Heartbroken. You can see she's on the verge of tears. Now I feel bad. I've got her hopes, her expectations all pumped up, and here she is. She won't even walk beside me. And I'm just like, look, honey, if we can't make it happen, we can't make it happen. They'll be in Calgary, and she says, well, what if I don't get a call back in Calgary? I said, you know what? If these people are who they say they are, and you got a call back here, you get a call back there too. And I would consider Kelowna, with the kind of that beachfront attitude and everything like that, I would consider Kelowna an area to be a tougher market than Calgary. Even though Calgary is a larger center, I just think Kelowna is just more that avant-garde. It's out there a little bit more. And maybe I'm wrong. Doesn't matter at this point. Moving forward, she's upset. Like, okay, let's get packed up. We got to get on the road. Now, we'd gone down. We sat for 15 minutes. We spent maybe 10 minutes in there, 5 of which was her asking me questions about my hypnosis and stuff like that. Bizarre. Even Jordan made mention of that. Hey, I thought it was my interview. So now we're getting things packed up in the room, and you were, going for breakfast. We're sitting there talking about it, and start doing some research. And I said, Jordan, I said, it's really strange. I'm looking online, and there's this stuff from the Better Business Bureau. This company is not registered. They're not recognized. They're from California. One of the biggest complaints is that they don't offer any refunds. Here's the thing. They're very good salespeople. I saw would-be moms in there with 2 kids, so passionate about getting their kids their first start in show business that they're sitting there for 2.5 hours. One young lady, probably, I'm going to say this, don't be offended, please, 12 months pregnant. She was very pregnant, okay? Due any week, any day. And she was there with her 2 younger kids. Beautiful, beautiful kids. And another woman with a 2-year-old child, and she's got her teenage daughter there, and her other kids at soccer, and she wants her daughter to model. She wants her daughter to be a star. You know, that's great. Look at the passion and everything like that. Oh, by the way, did you know you're going to have to spend almost, $3,500 Canadian just to get in the door, just to have people start looking at you, just to get the training. Experts will come in from the States. Experts will give your kids all the stuff they need in 2 weekends. And then there'll be a modeling showcase, an acting showcase, a singing showcase, kind of like American Idol, kind of like Canadian Idol. And it'll make all the difference in the world. Your kid will be discovered by Nickelodeon and Disney, by the agencies that work with those companies. Let me tell you, you get sucked in. People start talking about Nickelodeon, and people start talking about all the people that they've discovered. Brandon tells the story about Ned, discovering Ned in Hawaii. Spider-Man Homecoming. And you think, yeah, his first movie. He got discovered and boom, there he is. My kid could be that too. Every parent wants the best for their kids. But here it is. The Undiscovered Talent Company. Salesman. And, well, they create a great picture, an illusion of a dream that you and your kids may be able to be part of. I post these comments on Facebook and I get these comments back. My friend Brad Lang saying, you know what, my kids participated in this too. You got to really be careful. Hopefully it's not this. My other friend, Kim in Calgary, she says, you know what, we were part of this years ago. Same company, about 6 years ago. Only thing was, didn't take place in Canada. Took place in Orlando, Florida, by Disney. They made plans for a family vacation so their daughter could go down there. Things happened. Guess what? Her daughter wasn't able to participate. Could they get their money back? $3,000 US? Nope. Sorry. Plan to have you here. There's only 25 kids at welcome. There's only 50 kids invited. Well, if you look at the numbers, every month they're doing these showcases. And there's some weekends off in those months. Based on the numbers I see, they're making probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about $60,000 a month. Gee, that's a pretty good living, isn't it? $60,000 a month. $60,000 of your hard-earned money that they're taking in and bringing in experts. Well, you know what? I think if you ever decide to get involved in this process, make sure you vet. Make sure you look into the company. The Undiscovered Talent Company is going to be in Calgary coming up. And you bet the room will be packed. And by the way, they have security there. They have security there. You know why they have security there? Because when they start talking money and they start saying, hey, give us your MasterCard, give us your credit card, whatever, people get upset. Or people ask the question, wait, are you an agency? Like, do you work directly for these companies? No, we don't. We train people. Well, why am I wasting my time here? Why don't you tell people that you train people? Because I can get my kid trained anywhere for much less. And by the way, entertainment bureaus, as they're called in Canada, talent agencies, entertainment bureaus, they are all over the place. If your kid has talent and you want your kid to get a start, there are plenty of companies that work with CTV, Global, TV stations that shoot commercials. There are plenty of production companies around that actually won't charge you $3,000 or $4,000 for the privilege of having your child act for them. They'll pay you instead. So as you start looking at it, if your kid is truly talented, then create a life where they can explore that talent. Let's get back to the basics here, okay? They're very good salespeople. And yes, they have discovered some people. Are they really what they say they are? They are a training company. That's what they are. They take people and they train them. That's what they do. Is their training any better than anyone else's? Are the people that they're bringing in really who they say they are? Don't know. Didn't get that far into it. Will my daughter pursue an acting career, a singing career through her high school? Will she do more productions, more plays, things like that? You bet. She's passionate about it. Will I support her? You bet. We'll make sure that I'll make sure that she has the resources that she needs so she can go as far as she wants to go with it. Now, out of this, so many pluses. First and foremost, if the Undiscovered Talent Company comes to Calgary and you get the call out to be there, now you are armed with this information. You don't need to waste your time, or if you want to see for yourself and you've got the time, you're in the area and you love the excitement of it, you can go and do it. Connect with these people. Find out a little bit more about it. Maybe it'll work out for you. I doubt it. 100%. I doubt it. You're better off connecting with a production company in your own community. Say, for example, Lethbridge. I know many people who shoot commercials, who do things for production companies. Guess what? You want to connect with those people, start locally, and go from there. You want to be a star, find out if you've got what it takes, first of all, to be a star in your own community, and then move forward from there. Your kid has talent? Great. Get your kid the resources and training they need to go as far as they can go, and then go to the next level. Find people who are in your corner. And by the way, when your kid goes to the next level, there shouldn't be anyone there who's asking for $3,000 or $4,000 for the privilege of making them a star. That ain't right in any way, shape, or form. If your kid has talent, that talent is an asset for whoever they're talenting for. Guess what? They should be getting paid for it. Shouldn't have to pay for the privilege of being there. Now, that said, how fun and wonderful is it to be a part of this experience? And my daughter says even now, you know what? Dad, it was great having somebody recognize my talent. It was great having that validation. Absolutely, honey, you're right. I say it over and over again. You're beautiful, you're talented, you have an amazing voice. You compare yourself. There was a 24-year-old who got up and sang a song, and she says, yeah, you're, like, I don't even compare to her. I said, you're right, you're 14. Of course you don't compare to her. You know, you've been singing for a handful of years. You have a beautiful voice. But I'll tell you this, you have more talent than she has. She's been singing for I don't know how long. She gets up there, belts out of tune, and you feel intimidated by that. When you're 24 years old, you'll kick her ass. Compare apples to apples. That's what you need to do. Jordan, you're an amazing, talented young woman. You will go far. Amazing things are going to happen, and we'll make sure that they happen the right way. So, what's her takeaway from it? Great experience. Learned a lot. She feels great because she finds somebody who's from California who appreciates her talent, appreciates her voice. She got the call back. She went there and discovered it wasn't really all it was cracked up to be. And then all of a sudden we start hearing all these stories. And you know what? On my Facebook page, I'm glad people share their experiences with me, and I'm happy to share my experience with them. Many people have had these same things. They found that it just wasn't what they thought it was going to be. About $4,000 for the privilege of getting trained to get connected with these people. Guess what? If you're passionate about it, we have things called YouTube. Get yourself connected that way. If you want to be exceptional, and you know what? In the Hollywood industry, in the film industry, it takes a lot. Here in Canada and in southern Alberta, guess what? We have production companies coming through all the time. Remember Reverent? Remember Into the West? Remember Interstellar? These are all movies that were RV. These are all movies that were shot in southern Alberta, and there were many calls for extras. Guess what? Didn't cost you any money to be there, just your time, and guess what? You got paid to be there. What a great way to connect. Look for opportunities to connect. They're all over the place. So if this is what your passion is, get connected, do your research, and move forward with that. Jordan's takeaway on it is that, you know what, she's been validated. It's amazing. She is looking forward to more great experiences. Fantastic. You know what? We should all do things in life that we're passionate about, and we should get recognized for that. I was even excited to be sitting there with those people and to to have them question me about my stage hypnotism and what I do. That's fantastic. The fact that they knew nothing about it scares me. How can you be a professional in your area and you know nothing about something that is also a part of showbiz? I don't get it. But you know what? That's just me. I can be really dumb from time to time, or for more time than not, but that's just me being my natural self. That said, it's great to get that recognition. It's great to be excited about things. I'll tell you what, in life, whatever you do the things that excite you. Do the things you're passionate about. Share that passion with the people around you. I am passionate about helping people. I'm passionate about getting up on stage. And I'm passionate about sharing. And that's why we're here this morning. So as I share this, I want you to keep this in mind. When it comes to the Undiscovered Talent Group or Undiscovered Talent Company, Undiscovered Talent Agency, be aware. Stacy and Brandon, you know what? Great people. And I'm sure that they've contributed to the success of many, many people. But it's not what you think it is. It's training. And I'm sure if they presented it as training, it would be a totally different thing for all those people involved. And people wouldn't be so starstruck. They're salesmen. By the way, do you know that if you get a chance, if you get the call back to go to the next level, which is Las Vegas, and their big showcase there, and everybody's going to be there, by the way, so they say. Great video they have too, great production. So they obviously they put a lot of money into this, but they make a lot of money from it. To go to Vegas, $8,000 US, $8,000. So at 30%, what do you figure that is? Somewhere in the neighborhood of $11,000+ Canadian for the privilege of going, getting education, and then being in front of talent scouts and agencies so that you may get the opportunity. And by the way, you're going to be there with another 1,000 people over the whole weekend, plus you're going to have to pay for your accommodations. Yeah, great opportunity, but guess what? If you're a talented person, you will create a world around you where your talent can shine right here, locally. Now in this time of technology, more so than ever, we have that ability to make that happen. How incredible is it? So, a great experience for myself and for my daughter Jordan. We learned a lot. It was absolutely fantastic. Would we do it again? I would definitely do some more research next time. But you know what? This was off the cuff. I walked down to the lobby. I saw it. The front desk said, "Yeah, it's a call for potential actors and everything for Nickelodeon." That was all I knew. Maybe that's how they marketed it. That isn't what it was. But was it fun? Was it an experience? Yes, it was. Did we learn a lot from it? Are we better for it? Absolutely. And Brandon and Stacy, hey, I wish you guys the best. But you know what? Be more transparent when you get up there to speak. And Brandon, in his interviews with CBC, and you can see that online, he makes no bones about it. We're not an agency. We don't work directly for these people. We scout out talent, and we need to be paid for our services. That's what we do. Great. If that's what you do, then you need to be honest with that with people so that these moms, especially these people that go out there, I mean, here you have a mom, she's about to have her third child. And she so firmly believes in the snow job that they gave her that she is standing there for 2+ hours and then getting a call back, coming back the next day. We all want the best. We do. And one of the ways that you can be the best is just figure out a way to be your own best self. Each day and in every way, find ways to be better and better. And I'll tell you what, it all starts with this simple thought. There are 7 billion people in the world, and there's nobody like you. 7 billion people in the world, nobody quite like you. You are amazing. So find ways to stay inspired, find ways to get out there and just be your best self. Do me a favor. As you move forward in life, really do your best to stay inspired, to be great, and to keep doing those things that make you amazing. We'll chat soon. I'm going to get back to the music here. Jess FM, if you're watching this on Facebook, jessfm.ca, Jess TV as well. Great for you guys joining in this morning. I welcome your comments. I look forward to reading them and replying to them. And you know what? Any more information about this, by all means, I'm there for you. Let's make a difference together. Stay inspired. Have an amazing day.